It's a little complicated, but not overly complicated. All the information from the band's kit, the drum kit, the guitar amps, etc., goes out from the stage to the front of house where the engineer mixes it, comes back from the front of house into a set of racks, and then goes into the speakers. It was going out to the front of house, it came back to the stage, but Paramore were using fibre optic cable as opposed to a multi-core cable, which is a big thick cable with all the different, lots of cables in it. And they need a converter from, it seems they need a converter from the fibre optic into the digital racks, and the converter failed. It's the system that they bring. The headliners always work on their own sound systems or their own control systems, our speakers, their control systems, and it was that failed. I was pretty calm, actually, to be fair. I was pretty calm. I was slightly worried when I saw that the sound engineer really didn't quite have a backup plan. And in fairness, it would be difficult to have a backup plan for that, because that is, pretty catastrophic, really. By chance, we had a backup plan. Completely by chance. Essentially, when the stuff comes down from the stage, going out to the front of house, before it comes down from the stage, it gets split. Goes out to the front of house engineer, and then goes back behind the stage to the BBC, who are doing a completely different mix, which is a mix for television. They also have a feed into the speakers, and so by chance, they were able to put their mix in through the speakers when we got it all sorted out, with the front of house engineer from Paramore being out front talking to the BBC saying, can we have more mic, can we have more bass, can we have more this? I mean, it was pretty extraordinary, really, but just by chance it worked. It was, and actually, the one thing that you have to say is that Hayley was just a superstar. I mean, she was absolutely unbelievable. Anybody, I mean, 9 out of 10 people, this was a big moment for her, headlining, big moment for the whole band. She could have panicked, she could have got stroppy, she could have thrown the mic away, she could any number of, sort of rock and roll tantrums could have been forthcoming. She was amazing. She just, first of all, she didn't know what was going on, so she just danced around and sort of tried to keep the people happy. When we eventually got a microphone to her, she just made announcements, and then of course she went into the love song and did the a cappella with the crowd, and I mean, it was just, you couldn't, if you'd have scripted it, it wouldn't have worked as well. She was a superstar. She is a superstar. It's a complicated thing having two headliners, and the first time that we've really done it the way, properly, as two genuine co-headliners. And when I say genuine co-headliners, them splitting the opportunity to close the show at each location. So from that point of view, it was a test. We'd never done it before, and I thought it worked fantastically well. And what was brilliant about it was the respect that the two bands gave each other. At no point did they say, well, we want to be here, we want to be there. They effectively tossed a coin to say who would close one and who would close the other. Massive respect for Queens and Paramore. They were really both so keen to do it. I mean, it was just a joy, really, to deal with them. They both played the same length sets at both locations, so it wasn't that one had to cut their set when they were playing before the other one. We agreed the sets would be the same. It was a joy, actually, and certainly something that we'll consider again. Of course, I mean, for 2014, 2015, yeah, the conversations are already absolutely in full swing. They were in full swing at lunchtime today at Reading. They were in full swing here yesterday. We're talking to the agents. We have one band already confirmed. We're waiting for them to make the decision on which night they play Leeds and which night they play Reading. We're talking to the other ones, but we can't begin to confirm them until we know which night they're particularly playing. Well, of course, people always ask me about the hints, and I have one absolute stock answer, and that is that every band that we're talking to has got guitars.